Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a stew. It's a Gambian or Senegal as well, so it's West African type stew. And it's called Cheu. It's called Cheu. Probably comes from stew, but it's called Cheu. And I'm doing Cheu, which means white Cheu. Because you can make Cheu red as well as white. Well, the most common one is the red one, where you put tomato in it. But I'm making the white one. It's not really white because all the flavors gives it a little bit of a brown color. But the other Cheu is red, so it's got tomato puree and crushed tomatoes in. I've got all the ingredients ready, well, pretty much ready, and I'll show you guys how to make it. Stay tuned. I get Joe to do the rice as well.
No.
Yes. So these are the ingredients I'm using, guys. So I've got carrots, I've got sweet potato, that's about 2 small sweet potatoes, and 1 whole butternut squash. And normally I use spring onions, but I don't have any, but I've got shallots, so I've used 3 shallots in that. And for seasoning, other than salt and pepper, of course, I've got garlic, which I'm gonna crush, some ginger, which is gonna go in the blender, and half a Scotch bonnet. Normally I'll use full, but I live with people who can't handle too much spice. And I've also got bay leaves as well, which will go in. So I've got the chicken, which I've already put lemon and salt on. I've got the potatoes soaking in water, just to get rid of any extra starch. You don't have to do that, you can just make sure to wash it thoroughly after you've peeled it. And I've got some onions. I've got 6 onions here. Can you see that? I've got 6 onions soaking in water just so that they don't make me cry too much. And I've got oil, which is about ready now. So what I will do, so now that the oil is hot, what you want to do, be careful though, because this will be, just pour that. I'm also gonna use Knorr chicken cube stock, just to cheat a little bit. It adds that extra flavor. Sometimes to get that authentic taste, you have to use that. You don't have to, of course, use it, but I like to use it sometimes. I don't use it always. And I'm also gonna put paprika before I forget. So salt, pepper, paprika, Knorr cubes, bay leaves, Scotch bonnet chili. You can use olive chili. I've got ginger, fresh garlic. So these are all gonna be crushed except for the bay leaves. The bay leaves are going in as whole. We've got butternut squash, sweet potato, shallots, carrots, onion, potatoes, chicken, and of course oil. That's all you need for now, and you eat it with rice. If you're confident to use your hands, then do that. But if you're not, then use a chopping board, because you don't wanna chop your hands off. I've got 12 pieces of garlic, and I'm going to crush it all into the onion. If you don't have a garlic crusher, I would recommend to get one.
If you don't have one, get one.
See, I like when you come around, make you come and be my queen, make you move that thing.
So I'm putting in the onions in the same order that I just took the chicken out. I'm putting in the onions, the crushed ginger, the Scotch bonnet, and also the ginger. Did I say the ginger?
You did.
If I said the ginger, I'm saying the ginger twice.
Ginger, woo.
So basically all the spices go in now. So the chicken was just left there to become brown and cook a little bit. It's gonna go back in. I've also put the bay leaves, so you don't need that much. That's all the bay leaves you need. And then you just let that cook. I'm cooking white Cheu, not because sometimes we cook it with tomato. So you basically would cook it the same way, but you put crushed tomatoes or plum tomatoes, whatever, as well as tomato puree. So I would say about maybe a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree in there to make it the normal chew, but this is just white chew, which is my favorite. So I let it fry for about 10 minutes and then just add the water. But we're cheating because we're probably on. And what you do now is let this cook until the water sort of simmered off and you see the oil back on top. And once that's done, you add all your veggies and add water and the chicken again. So after I added the water to it, all I'm gonna do now is just add a 1/4 teaspoon salt. This is just Himalayan salt that I use. Pink Himalayan salt. I've just put it in my blender to make it a bit more, what's the word that?
I don't know.
Crushed. And then I'm gonna put all the Knorr cubes in. It's hot over there.
What's going on with that then, babe?
So I would say just put.
That's why our food's so damn hot, because I don't know what she's putting in it.
That's paprika.
Paprika's hot, man.
So 1.5 teaspoons of paprika. Paprika, I think Americans say.
Everyone says paprika. You say paprika.
They say paprika because in Sweden you say paprika.
Could you be not in Sweden then, isn't it?
Doesn't mean that I stop being Swedish, Fab. The onions are killing my cameraman, unfortunately. So if you see the camera just drop to the ground, you know why.
Or he was shaking like this and dying.
And then you have ground black pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of that as well. As you can see, coming close, Fab, make sure you can see. I don't know if you can see, so the water is disappearing and you can see the oil rising to the top slowly. So you just want to leave it cooking now until you can see the oil fully risen to the top, and then you add more water. I normally just use my blender. Oh yeah, it says lock with it. Okay, so to start off with, I put 0.25 liters and a little bit
Wait.
of water. Is it focusing?
You can't see the numbers anyway.
Well, it says 0.25 liters and a bit of water, but when I add water again, I'm going to take it to 0.8 liters of water, and then add it fully and put the chicken and everything else in and just let it sit. So it was about 4 o'clock when I put the first batch of water in. It doesn't take too long for it to cook down. So I don't know if you can see the water's like all gone. We've got the onion and the oil is coming up now. So that took about 20 minutes on next to highest heat. So my highest is number 6, sorry, and I take it to number 5. I stirred it a lot in between, so you can't just leave it and walk away because otherwise it will stick to the bottom if you leave it that high. You can do it for lower and then take a bit longer. But what I'm doing now is putting this chicken in, putting all the vegetables in. And all the water that I said. So normally you wouldn't have this much vegetables in, but I always try to squeeze as much vegetables in anything that we eat. And also when the butternut squash and the sweet potato overcook, like the sweetness of it releases into the dish. So it adds to the flavor, I think, and it's very delicious. But yeah, now you just let it stay there. So I'm gonna leave it at number 4. Right, so I've left it on. So what? It was ready at 4:30, and now it's 6, and it's starting to get ready. So as you can see, the oil is starting to get back to the top, and the water is almost gone. Just make sure to stir it in between. So the water is evaporating and the oil is coming up. So I've tasted it, so all I do in between, just make sure to taste it. and it needs more salt. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take another, I'll say half a teaspoon of the sea salt, of the Himalayan sea salt, and add that in there. So you have to remember that this is a large pot, so you have to, like, you can even leave the salt to last and do it slowly as needed, because you don't want to end up with too much salt. The chicken is so cooked now that it's breaking apart, so when you are stirring it, just be a little bit careful, because you do want the chicken to be tender, but again, it's falling apart. So I'm gonna leave it there, I would say now for another 15 minutes, that will probably be done, but I've not cooked the rice yet, so I'll probably leave it a bit longer. So I normally have like my brown rice, my brown basmati rice mixed with red Knorr rice and wild rice. And I'm just gonna put that on, and then Joe is just gonna do their rice, which is the normal stuff. It's normal basmati rice. Basmati rice is the best rice to eat this with, because that's mostly what we eat in Gambia and Senegal. That's what we eat with it. You can of course have other rice, but I said basmati rice tastes best with it. And Joe, your turn now to do the rice. Come here. Did you have your toast?
What?
Did you have your toast?
Yeah, 2 mini slices of bread.
Joe is hungry, so he's a bit grumpy. Please don't take your grumpiness out on the rice.
When your wife doesn't let you eat.
Well, I was thinking I don't want you to be thingy when dinner's ready. I still want you to be hungry.
6'7". I weigh almost 18 stone.
So?
You need to eat. You need to fuel this sort of monstrosity.
You had 2 slices of toast. Toast are this thick, by the way. Like the toast, the toast is this thick. It's not all day, babe. It's like for an hour and a half. It's not gonna meant to last you all day.
Yeah, it was sustain a 12-year-old all day, though, wasn't it? Not me.
Yeah, but I'm
12 minutes.
not asking for it to sustain you for all day. I'm asking for it to.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, that's it. That's
So
all we're
should be
asking
like
for.
4 to 6 slices of bread.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah. And a bowl of cereal.
That's you done. You won't need any food after that.
This will go down the tree. It's chicken.
You can see the oil is rising. Rising. Like if you don't want your chicken to break apart in it, you don't have to put it in as early as I did. Alright, so the rice is on. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I turn it on because my rice takes forever. So I'll wait about 15 minutes before I turn it on. I'm gonna turn this down now because it's almost ready and I want it to be finishing around the same time as the rice. So it's, well, we kind of started on 6, went to 5, went to 4, and now we're on 3. In 15 minutes I'm gonna put it on 2.
Chicken there.
But it's delicious.
She play me like Tumbo, like Tumbo. Rolling with guys I don't know.